Welcome in to TWMP Daily. How about a Monday morning, Aaron, starting this off?
Oh, well, it's a Monday morning when Halloween was on a weekend, so I'm not feeling I'm not feeling that great.
So, I love Halloween, but this year, with Gussie, it's fun in a different way. It's fun that I don't have a headache. It's fun in a way I don't have a headache the next day.
Oh, I still have a headache.
What were the kids?
We had a green dragon. Your favorite child was a green dragon,
He's
and
cool,
he had
man.
wings that lit up.
That kid's gonna be
Yeah.
like a talk shows or a game shows or something one day.
Fantastic. We had a vintage pumpkin. Ryan, our youngest, wore my old pumpkin costume and a ninja.
Gussie one year was Ric Flair, and then he was Jack Buck. Then he was Don Dinkinger, one of the scariest monsters of all time. Then he was Hulk Hogan. Then he started picking his own costume out. I'm not saying it's been bad. It's just
It's
not.
not as fun.
Yeah, it's not on the same level. We were pickles. I was a big pickle. He's a little pickle this year.
Yeah.
We were big deals.
At least you weren't 6'7". The amount of adults I knew that went as the 6'7" trend, like I've never felt more old in my life.
What is that? I don't know what
Thank
that
you.
even is.
Thank you.
What
Thank
is
you.
the 6'7" trend?
I still don't know.
Let's bring in our guest, a man who I guarantee will know what the 6'7" trend is. Mike Deering with the Missouri Cattlemen. Thank you so much for making the time.
Absolutely, Scott.
Okay, for all of our viewers, it was an anomaly last week. The Irish took over. The people can't even take over their own island, but they took over the show. But I just want to tell you the tricolor is back raised. It is no longer Oktoberfest, but the Germans are back in control. Usually the first 2/3 or 3/4 of things go very well when the Germans are in charge. The endings are a little rough.
Endings are rough.
Endings are a little, we stick the landing a little bit there. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
All right. This is there. We have talked many times when it's been a little bit hard to be the head of the Missouri Cattlemen Association. Beef prices are doing all right now, right?
You mean cattle prices?
Cattle prices, yeah.
Prices, yeah. They were, they went down quite a bit from previous weeks. The last week was kind of rough, but looking for a rebound hopefully this week. Beef prices have, in the grocery store, have stayed the same. They haven't been impacted at all. So
It really is been a real lagging indicator because we were all seeing the grocery store prices up, and we weren't seeing cattle prices up for, years. Since COVID, you saw beef prices at the grocery store go up, cattle prices didn't. Maybe that market's regulating a little bit now.
yeah, even under the Biden administration, we were well on our way for increased prices because you had years and years and years of timely drought in all your cattle production, major cattle production areas, not to mention a drastic increase in urban sprawl and more St. Louis folks buying land just to hunt on the weekends or whatever. It's finally caught up. It's finally caught up with itself, and producers are finally able to get paid. And that was not the case for a long time. So it's quite refreshing to be able to get paid for what you're doing and not do it for the simple fact that you love it only.
All right, I got to give a shout out here. Well, first, I want to thank one of our sponsors up in the great Northwest where they raise a lot of cattle, United Fiber. A lot of folks on their ranch right now are going to be able to watch this show because of United Fiber and the rural broadband. But I had a look at this. You want to see a cool Stein, Mike? This is Stein. Jim Murphy got me at an engagement party. It's got a man and a woman. He did go ahead and get. It's not 2 men or 2 women. It's a man woman. I assume she's not trans.
Knew his audience.
It kind of looks right. Yeah. Look at that Stein right there. Now that's not a Stein of, I think, knowledge.
Well,
We'll see. We'll see how knowledgeable it was.
We've decided that mine is now a tankard of truth.
Tankard of truth.
Tankard is Irish.
Is Tankard's Irish?
Tankard's Irish.
Well,
yeah.
we know tanks aren't Irish. You're mostly car bombs.
Tankard.
Jim Murphy, thank you so much. What a terrific gift. This is something I'll really cherish. I really appreciate it. What a great guy.
He is. He's awesome.
Jim Murphy, Mike, I really believe
And Irish.
that, hey, you got to give your props. If he was German, I'd claim him too, loud and proud. Mike Deering is the best MC at any event you'd ever have in this state. There is no MC that can hold a candle to Mike Deering. Jim Murphy is the best dude to interview in all the Republican Party. Jim Murphy is always going to say something. He's going to come out with a great joke at first. It's going to be great. Then he's going to say something kind of reasonable and thoughtful. I'm a Jim Murphy fan. All right, let's talk about the issue in the news. Would you say 90% would be the over/under for the number of your members that voted for Donald Trump?
Oh, geez. Yeah, at least.
I would take the over on 90. Aaron, what would you take of the
The
Missouri cattle?
over.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I like the America First thing, right? I think that's great. I'm a big America First guy. I don't know why we care about the Middle East. No one's ever explained it to me. I don't care about Ukraine in any way. I thought they were our enemies. Um, but, reasonable people can disagree. But America First is what I've heard over and over and over. And then about the time beef prices get good, Donald Trump decides we're going to buy $40 billion worth of worthless pesos. I mean, Mike, can you imagine the tankers and the barges you'd need to even cart around 40 billion pesos? I mean, those things are worthless. Some South American, as Trump would call it, shithole country that is totally irrelevant to my life, all of a sudden now we're buying their worthless currency and we're buying their beef right about the time Missouri cattlemen are starting to make money. Businesses run in a cycle. You're going to lose money in a business cycle usually, and certainly in a cattle production business. But you lose that money to make money. By the time we're making money, all of a sudden they're importing this, what is, by all accounts, as Mark Alford said, disgustingly awful beef.
You know, when Trump made that comment, it was certainly a gut punch because producers are finally
Yeah.
making money. But let's not get hung up on Argentina. I mean, we imported more beef than we ever have before in the history of our country last year, and uh, Argentina was eighth on that list. I mean, Uruguay was three times that. So, we got hung up because words matter. He spoke, and then the market reacted to that. But in the big scheme of things, I mean, Argentina is nothing. I mean, that we've always imported beef from Argentina. It's not a big deal. It's a drop in the bucket. In fact, it's not enough to grease the pan, what we take in.
I like that.
They raise a quarter. They raise a quarter of the beef as Brazil. So I mean, it's really not a big deal. I really think that he made those comments. I don't think it had anything to do with beef. I think it had everything to do with trying to get that relationship with Argentina better, just for this rare earth minerals, and then we have this conflict looming over here with Venezuela. So I think there were other motives. I don't think it was necessarily a beef motive.
Aaron, do you give a damn about Argentina?
Well, they have, don't they have soccer?
I'm a capitalist. I wouldn't know if they have soccer.
Are you sure about that? Because I heard a little bird told me that you may have purchased a soccer jersey this weekend.
Never happened. Whoever told you that's a damn liar, and I'd say it to her face.
Okay. Well, I think they have a pretty good. I think Mike's totally right. I think like 95% of the time when Trump does this, it works out for him, and there's like that 5% of the time where somebody actually calls him on what he says.
Yeah, because I don't care if Argentina falls off into the ocean. It wouldn't change my day at all.
Most of the time.
I mean, let's put it in. I mean, if we took in all the beef, and quadrupled Argentina's quota, it would amount to as much beef as 36% as one weekly production here in the United States. I mean, it's really nothing, and I think the industry overreacted to him, and then of course Trump being Trump, when you push back and you get aggressive, then he goes the opposite direction and says more questionable, if not stupid things.
Okay, so in real life, for a Missourian, who most of them like Trump, some of them really like him. There are some city folks that walk around with those. What are those hats y'all wearing? Those the pussy hats or whatever. They walk around looking for a king. I saw this great cartoon. It was one of the No Kings people with a psychiatrist. Like, are the kings in the room with you right now? But for your average person, the most authoritative person I know on this subject, Mike Deering, is so this is nothing that Americans should be worried about.
Absolutely not. The biggest takeaway from this is words matter, and I wish the president would kind of understand that a little bit, because it did create a big damn mess in our market. The board tanked, prices went down, and a lot of that had to do with not just his comments, but with the reaction to those comments from industry. But and then he came out again, which pushed the market down more. After the industry reacted, he came out and put this stupid post on True Social that basically took credit for the high prices for cattle producers making a living, saying that if it wasn't for him and his tariffs, we would still be in the tank, basically. And That's just not true. The high prices had nothing to do with Trump or his tariffs whatsoever. Again, it came from timely years and years of timely drought, which caused us to whittle our cow numbers down to basically nothing, to historic lows. Um, and there was a time, like I said, that we were left with just those people that were doing it because they loved it, because it did not pencil out. Now they're finally starting to make a living. But our folks still are very much, they're like, they love Trump. They appreciate all the things he's done when it comes to cutting regulations and red tape, but they just wish he would just maybe not talk as much, and and that would solve a lot of problems because again, words matter.
I like it from the authoritative source. This is nothing to worry about. I do think, though, Aaron, I think you're right. Normally, him just shooting off the cuff works.
Yep.
Yeah, this time I don't think it was the move.
Yep.
And I kind of like it, frankly. 90% of the time when he shoots from the cuff, I like it. I think it's good because that's what, when you interview politicians all day, you have to really work it to get what they actually think out.
It's a catch-22, double-edged sword. I get that, yeah.
So I like the fact he speaks from the cuff, unless it pisses off people I don't like. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a real novice question about cattle. Cattle prices are up right now. Are you worried that folks have been holding on to cattle and now they're selling them and there's going to be a problem with the stock going forward?
Yeah, no, not at all. Again, we're down to historic lows on cow numbers. It's going to take a long time to rebuild the herd. I mean, we're not talking about pigs and chickens. We're talking about cattle, which takes a longer cycle. And so it's going to be at least 3 years, or I think 5, but 3 to 5 years to get those numbers back. But,
Mike, let me ask you, just explain this for me like we were in Chesterfield. Therefore, to a very dumb, angry person. From the moment a calf is born, how long until you can sell it for a profit?
You're looking at least 15 months.
Yeah. So if you'd have to hang on to a few of them, let them reproduce.
Heifers to breed back again. Yeah. We're talking about processing around 15 months, but if you're talking about trying to rebuild the herd, you're looking at 2.5 years from the time that calf hits the ground to the time it has another calf, and you get that rebuilding going on. So, I mean, it's a long cycle.
Yeah. So you're thinking 3 to 5 years till the herd's built back up to where it was?
Yeah, at least, yes.
I do. It is hard though to hang on if you've seen all these low prices. It is hard to hang on. I think at some point you might want to be tempted to run that stock down. Tell me how things are going up in Montgomery County.
Things are good. We're proud of our hometown boy Andrew Bailey in D.C. So kind of miss him being here, but we take a lot of pride in Andrew. So
did you see he was back this weekend trick or treating with the kids?
Yeah, he was.
I was texting with him. He shot me that picture. Me and Gussie were running around Mooresville dressed like pickles. We probably stood out a little bit, I think. I want to take one more second here and thank our sponsor, the Courtyard by Marriott. If you're coming to town, I mean, look, if you're a top level executive like Mike Deering, there's only one place you'd put up people when they come to town. This Courtyard by Marriott, right? I mean, you're not some D-lister, correct? As a check, is it?
No comment.
I'm not, folks. I just want to say I'm not texting Mike the answer here, although it is right over my left shoulder.
I see that. I appreciate it. Yeah, cool.
Gosh, wouldn't it be so great if we knew who was texting him right now? If you're watching, folks, text Mike Deering right now. Just flood his phone. Let's just see what happens here. And I gotta. You want to hear something? You want to hear some wrongs in the world? I'll start with a wrong.
Uh-oh.
So we go to Northwest Missouri State, great campus, great place. They are actually putting in now a creamery up there to help study dairy production. I go up there, and Lance and everybody, Dr. Tatum, I should say, and everybody was so nice. So we all run up there, shoot the show. I love going to Maryville, beautiful town. The campus couldn't be better. And Mike, guess who they have a gift for? Not me, not Jake or Kelton.
It's me.
They have a gift for Aaron.
Oh, look at this.
Northwest Missouri State Tumbler.
Dr. Tatum.
And let's just be clear, Mike. She wasn't there. She was back probably doing her high-level executive job here in her big office tower at Honda Booth. She wasn't even in Maryville. We all were in Maryville, and the person that got the gift was her.
Well, that just tells you.
Yeah, it kind of does, a little bit.
My reputation precedes me.
This was cute at first, like with people like could imagine stuff. It was kind of ironically funny. But you've never even been to Maryville, have you?
Yes, I have.
When?
Well,
you weren't there with us.
Well, I was not there with you all, but when I lived in Kansas City, I went up to Maryville.
For what?
I don't remember.
She's lying. She never went to Maryville. It's just salt in the wound. So tell me about Montgomery County. Give me your take on these data centers. I like them. I think it's a very needed thing.
You're really set. Let's talk about beef again.
I thought we were getting controversial saying Trump.
Take anything that takes good farmland out of production, so I'm not sure he's going to want to talk.
Well,
about
I just, in that one building, you could fund a school.
Well, you could probably fund more than one.
Yeah, I mean that. To me, I look at their. It's an interesting thing, Governor Keogh sat in that chair, and I asked him. I said he's got his Thalhuber Commission meeting about education. Anytime a commission meets, I think they're going to screw rural Missouri. I think that is, they can call them what they want, but it's usually how do we screw rural Missouri commission? And now that the Republicans are in charge, for some reason they just take it. I don't really understand how Democrat rural reps used to stick up for rural Missouri, and Republican rural reps have become doormats. But as this commission comes through, what would better solve rural education issues than these data centers?
I'm going to be pretty politically correct here, but I would rather.
Kelton, make sure we have this clipped.
It's like, in my community, it's like World War II over these things, and it's like you got this side, and then you have the other side, and it's pretty intense, honestly. And I would take a data center over these damn solar panels any day of the week.
I totally agree.
But when you look at I-70, something is going to go there anyway. The mega site is there. You're going to have industry of some kind go in that spot. And so I just tell people, I'm like, before you take a side, before you get on Facebook and be all against this, like, what kind of growth do you want in your community? Do you want the tax base without all the people? Do you want to be a Wentzville with all the development and the housing developments, or do you want a controlled growth where you're going to have the tax base, you're not going to have the taxes, you're not going to have all the retail stores and all of that maybe you don't want in your community? And that's what the data centers do. So if you want to talk about the positive, you're going to get a large tax base, you're going to get to fund your schools, your fire districts, etc., without a big boom in housing, without a big boom in retail and industry and things like that. So you're going to have a very controlled growth. And so when you want to talk about the positives, that's a very positive thing that you're going to be able to bring to your community without bringing the people with it.
I didn't know about it, and I got in the truck, and we went to Schuyler County up at Lancaster. And in Schuyler County, the school's in Queen City. Now, you want to talk controversial, the windmills are very controversial in North Missouri. But if you could have twice the taxi revenue from a windmill with just a metal building that you'd really only see it in a commercial area if you was out turkey hunting and you walked up on it or something, that would be a data center. And I went to that school in Queen City. That school in Queen City is beautiful. It's immaculate. Those kids go to school in a palace, and they go to school in that palace because of those windmills. Now, if you could take and get rid of all the windmills and take double the money in just one metal building, that's a data center. I agree. I'd love the world to go back to how it used to be, but it's not. And I think one of the ways we keep up with that is the data center.
Kid to be able to graduate from Montgomery High School and buy 10 acres and make a living just farming, but that is simply not the case.
It's not real.
You both know that.
So tell me how Governor Keogh's doing. Looks like, I guess the obvious answer is very well. I don't even think his enemies could say he's not had a good year. I'm thinking one of the best years of any first-term governor as far as productivity.
Yeah, he's getting it cranked out, and he's doing so in his statesman way and being honest and transparent. And I certainly don't have many criticisms to lob his way. I dressed up as Keogh for Halloween. I think I did a good job there. So.
Okay, what did that costume look like? It
was kind of boring.
Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. Was it Kehoe the car salesman or Kehoe the governor?
You know, I did Kehoe the cowboy.
Oh, okay. All right.
When I think of him, I think of boots, you know, like a khaki dress pants, a light blue shirt, sleeves rolled up, and a tie. That's what I think. When I think of kids, what I think of. Maybe that's the car salesman senator version.
Yeah.
Last time I always dressed up as Parson, and that was a little easier. I even had the tattoo and everything. But.
Well, with Parson, you go that gray hair. You're getting there. That's got that signature nice gray hair.
Yeah.
Gussie went as Parson once, and he was very much against it until he didn't go trick or treating as Parson. He went to the fall festival as Parson.
Okay.
Yeah. I do think they should put the fall festival back on the day of downtown trick or treating.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing the Parsons did. I think that was a good tradition. I don't like messing with traditions. So, Mike, tell me what else happened in rural Missouri. We're getting ready for. I'm a big believer in IP reform. I just don't believe this IP reform has a hope in hell of passing. Am I wrong?
I think it's going to be a tough hill to climb. Certainly our association, as well as Farm Bureau and others, we want IP reform. We think it's important to get that done. Our Constitution should not be for sale, and that seems to be what it is currently. It's the highest bidder can put whatever they want on the ballot. There's no vetting of any of those measures as far as I'm concerned. We have a process for a reason, and we would like that to be honored. I mean, the ballot initiative, that process was put there for the right reasons, but it's certainly been hijacked, and it needs to be fixed.
You know,
now, whether it can be passed, I'm kind of with you. I'm not overly optimistic that we're going to get that passed. I do think that I'm probably more optimistic than you, but I would be shocked.
I guess I truly think it should be a little harder to amend the Constitution.
Yeah.
A little harder is one thing. I also think the statutory provisions the citizens put in should be a little harder to mess with. I think there was room for a reasonable deal. I think this is a poorly thought out initiative petition. That if the legislature puts it on, it only needs 50 plus 1, but the citizens, it needs some math equation I'm not smart enough to figure out. I don't think it should be impossible to amend the Constitution. I don't think this is a very, very well thought out situation. And when the Senate literally debates it for 0 seconds, it's the kind of shoddy product you get, I think. And regardless, I think this was so bad. I don't think it has a hope to pass. You think it passes in Montgomery County? I think it's going to be close in Montgomery County. Therefore, it's got no hope of actually passing.
I think it'll pass in Montgomery County.
By how much?
It'll be close because most people are going to scratch their head and maybe not quite understand it because it is confusing.
They've made it too complicated.
In a derogatory way, it's kind of confusing.
It is.
I mean, in a derogatory way, it's too confusing.
It is. I'd say it'll pass maybe by 5 points.
Which means it has no chance of becoming law. It would need to pass in Montgomery County by 20, right? To do the math and factor it out to the rest of the state.
7. I don't think it passes by more than that.
If it only comes out of Montgomery County with a 5 to 7 point margin, Aaron, you've done these ballot measures. It has no hope of becoming law, right?
I've shared the only place I've ever seen vote down, be on the opposite side of the winning issue every single time is Jasper County. Jasper County hates everything.
I hate everything too. I'm generally with them.
In Joplin.
I kind of hate I always vote no.
Everybody else you don't put anything.
Unless Jack Cardetti has personally got me on the phone and told me why this is good, I'm a hard no on everything. I will say this though, I'm going to be in trouble. Barry Bean on the Farm Bureau board, he is very much a proponent of this, as everyone at Farm Bureau. Mm-hmm. I'm a proponent of IP reform. I don't think this actually happens.
Yeah, really difficult to convince people that they should have less power.
So, to recap, you're saying the Argentinian thing, it was a word thing, it's not a real thing. If cattle prices go down, it's not the fault of some bizarre weirdo speaking Spanish with pesos down at the tip of South America, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally a drop in the bucket.
Okay.
Argentina does not matter. We're not worried about that. It's the words that matter, and with like that reined in, it looks like it has been. But you know, the what he was talking about initially when he put out that tweet or True Social, whatever you call it, was talking about beef prices being too high at I mean, and I hear that consistently, and I just think I don't believe that. I do not think beef prices are too high. I mean, if you look at a bag of Doritos and you calculate that, you're looking at
Yeah,
you pay $20 a pound for a bag of Doritos,
that's almost
and
marijuana money.
yeah, and
It's like
it's
a dime
like
bag.
you know, if they're too high, the only thing that fixes high prices is high prices, and that's the consumer. So if the prices are too high, consumers stop buying it, and that has not been the case. We're looking at a 40-year high
Yeah.
on per capita consumption of beef, and you know, consumers are consistently saying that beef is the best bang for their buck, a nutrient-dense premium product that's a result of hardworking cattle producers really focus on genetic excellence and producing a product that consumers want, and they're not afraid to spend the money to buy it. And beef prices are not too high. When they are, the consumers tell us.
You know, it's interesting. You know, you talk about a dime bag. That's how folks used to have to buy if they wanted
I don't even know
marijuana.
what the hell a dime bag is. So
You do too. It's a bag of drugs.
okay.
To me, I'm a believer you do what you want. I like freedom. And what has changed in the state is now, if you want to do this, you don't have to go with behind some quick shop or whatever. You want something that's grown, manufactured, tested, and sold all inside the state of Missouri. The products from the folks at Mocan Trade. Maybe you're having a little trouble getting to sleep. Try one of their products, and you don't have to do it in some bizarro cash deal. Although I've been known for cash deals, behind in some alley somewhere. You go into a nice place. It's all well lit. It's all above board, all tested.
How did you go from beef to weed?
We're
Just
talking.
hang around
I went
Mike
from
for a little bit
Doritos to weed, which
longer.
is actually a very natural connection. That, but I'll tell you, I think talk about our boy Andrew Bailey. This is something This is something
I was wondering
sold,
what you were doing.
right? This is a product like Gummy Nerds. Now you could tell, Gummy Nerds. You could tell the good houses in Wardsville that were giving out full size candy bars and Gummy Nerds.
Does it say marijuana anywhere?
No, it doesn't. That is something you can buy 4 blocks from the Attorney General's office.
Calories.
Andrew Bailey was getting this. It's candy, but it's actually got some drugs in it. It's not tested. It's not vetted.
And it's a product of Mexico.
Yeah, it's in Mexico. It's down there wherever that they're buying pesos from. This right here, Catherine Hanaway, I think is going to take up our man Andrew Bailey's fight as far as who's gonna fight back on this stuff. I'm very happy to see her doing that. So to recap, Argentina's not a big deal. Give Kehoe a grade on his first year.
I don't believe in A pluses, so let's go with just a straight A.
I'm gonna give him the A. I don't know what more you could want if you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, I can think of several things you might could want. But if you're a Republican and I'll ask you this: you and I were at we were on that bus a little bit. The folks that were protesting him, or the chicken suit guy and all that, the folks that didn't want to see Mike Kehoe, like they want to see somebody else elected. I honestly believe more of what they wanted to see happened under Mike Kehoe than if they'd have got what they wanted with another candidate.
Be specific. What do you mean?
Tax cut, abortion IP reform, 7-1 map. A lot of the things your red meat right-wing Republicans wanted. Now, Mike Kehoe does not give you as much whining and crying on Facebook. That is true. He's not much of a complainer and a whiner and all that. But as far as actual policies that have been advanced, in my opinion, they've got more out of Mike Parson than they would have Ashcroft or Eigel.
Out of Mike Kehoe.
And Mike Kehoe, yeah.
Yeah. You said Parson.
Well, they run together to me a little bit. But I just think if you look at objectively what a person that maybe they didn't think Mike Kehoe was right-wing enough for them, I think you actually got more accomplishments under Kehoe that you would have liked than you would have under Ashcroft or Eigel.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because Mike Kehoe knows how to govern and knows how to lead and doesn't just stand on a chair and yell and scream.
You didn't get as much of that. You didn't get as much of the whining and crying and all that. That is true. You got actual results.
I don't think traditionally, if you look at that type of quote-unquote leadership, that does not yield results. I have yet to see that yield results. And having a steady hand, that gets outcomes.
I agree. So Argentina's not that big a deal. You don't give A pluses, but if you did, Kehoe might get one. You don't regret backing him last summer, I guess.
Absolutely not. No.
Didn't figure. Then you agree with everybody that Northwest Missouri State should give me the gifts, not Erin, if she doesn't attend. Mike agrees with that.
I'm originally from Savannah, Missouri, so Northwest, so close to Maryville, and Northwest Missouri State is a great college, a great school, great university, and they are really ramping up their ag program in big ways, building new facilities. You talked about the creamery. And so, I mean, if I was going to pass out gifts, I would choose a pretty young lady over you, Scott.
Wow. I thought maybe you just wouldn't say anything and I'd speak. So what you're saying is that my alma mater in SEMO this week, we're back on the college tour. We're going to my alma mater. I should get the gift, right?
I've won some favor down in Southeast Missouri.
I know. I was in. I brought you back the Stein from New Madrid, or the tankard, or whatever you Mick called it. So Mike turned
up. That's another SEMO. All these schools in Missouri are really focused on agriculture here recently. SEMO's doing a good job. Northwest is going above and beyond, but SEMO has a really good ag program there as well.
I want to tour the creamery because actually my favorite dairy farm is in the Northwest Corridor in Weston, Missouri, Green Dirt Farm.
I hope you do tour the creamery, and hope they have a Stein for me when you get up there. That's what I hope happens. Mike Deering, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
He's just the best. You talk about enjoying Trump, and when Mike Deering says what he thinks, and it is a wonderful thing to talk to a person who will say what they actually think about something.
He was spot on with his analysis, too. It's great. I'm like, yes, welcome, Mike, to the last 8 years of being a PR professional and having to deal with everything that comes out of his mouth.
See, I don't mind it being the land of the wolves and you just spitball whatever you want. But I do think that it should go, for Trump, I think it's fine. Say all these stuff, conflate all these issues. But when you're conflating them against your own people that voted for you,
when you undermine
that's
the
a problem. That's a problem. And
you spin the market out several times in 48 hours. Probably.
Go spin the market out for lattes or whatever that crap is. Yeah,
soy
Starbucks.
Lattes?
Yeah, whatever weirdos that didn't vote for Trump drink. I will say, so the recap is Deering doesn't think IP reform passes either. And again, Barry, I'm sorry. I know you're probably right. Farm Bureau folks, really, Barry Bean's the one that gave me the what for about it. He thinks this is going to pass. No, I don't know if he thinks that, but he thinks he's definitely for it. And wants everybody to be for it. I'm for it. I'm going to vote for it. I just don't think I'm going to win.
Okay.
You going to vote against it?
I'm going to vote how Sam Lickletter tells me to vote on that one.
Yeah, I probably will too, actually. Didn't think about that. Kelton, is this live? Can we rewind this? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm staying in that man's good graces.
And he's usually right about most things.
Right.
I think if you really sit Sam down, he's going to be and I'm speaking for him, which is really stupid. I don't think he's just totally against any IP reform.
No, I don't.
I don't think he's. I think he leans when you bring up the subject. I think he starts off against it, but I don't think he's against all of it, no matter unreasonably. I've never seen him be unreasonable about anything. I think there's room for some IP reform.
This is what happened again. This is what happens when we have no substantive debate.
Well, and I think these special sessions, they don't generally yield good public policy. I think when the Missouri Senate just
lawyers are making a lot of money,
abrogates its job and just lays down and does nothing and becomes invisible, the state suffers.
Our courts are really busy.
Well, and if they'd have done this right and took their time to come up with a better product, there still would have been a bunch of lawsuits on it, right?
Yeah.
All these things are going to be litigated all the way through.
I don't know if to the extent that they are right now, but we'll see. Yeah.
I think
there's a separate Marvel universe.
Yeah, I think the court cases, the more things you bring, the more things you pass, the more lawsuits are going to be, right? I mean, there's a reason Mark Ellinger has that great hair. It's because he can afford the really nice product.
I did not say that, just for the record.
That Mark has great hair. Mark has. Objectively, Mark Ellinger has great hair.
I haven't seen any gray hair. That's just
great hair, as in outstanding
great hair.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm agreeing. Yeah.
I don't know if he has gray hair or not, but I mean, it is objectively outstanding hair.
Yes.
I mean, that comes from probably very upscale product, right?
I don't know. Daniel has pretty nice hair.
I've seen him at Coffee Zone, it's at 7:30 in the morning. and I've had dinner with him, and they go to 9:30, and that hair is perfect.
Yep.
You don't buy that at dollar store, right?
Nope,
that kind of product comes from like
a salon.
The profits of very successful lawsuits, right?
Yes.
That's what I would think too. But yeah, so I think Keogh's. I mean, tell me how it's not an A+.
Well,
I'll tell you how it's not an A+.
I can argue.
I'll answer that.
You want no?
You answer.
Give me.
I asked
okay.
you.
So I mean, I think it's not an A+ because how much of I think he burned a little too much political capital on things that weren't really his priorities. So.
Do you really think anybody thinks this squirrely 7-1 map is his priority?
Right.
And
so
was it his capital?
Yeah.
It was none of their. Donald Trump said do this, and none of them want to tell him no.
Yeah.
So they don't. And you know
that
what?
would be the only reason I wouldn't give him an A+.
I go back to, Jason Bean, my senator, the citizens of Southeast Missouri want him to do whatever Trump says. Even if it hurts them, they want him to do whatever Trump says.
I saw some polling, fairly recent polling, that Trump is still popular.
Wildly. Not even, to call it popular.
Still the most popular person.
In year 9 of the Trump era.
In Missouri, let's be clear.
In South, whatever it was in Missouri, multiply it by 10, and that's Southeast Missouri. Trump's economy has not been helpful to farmers. It is just not.
No.
The tariffs, for everything you do, and look, I understand his long-term goal of bringing manufacturing back and all that. I get it, and I'm not qualified to say it's good or bad, but there is short-term, maybe even intermediate, maybe long-term pain to farmers. Farmers are paying the freight to bring these manufacturing jobs back.
Yeah.
Why can't he just take the tariff money and give it to farmers?
Great question.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Your tariffs are punishing the farmers. Why shouldn't they reap some of the benefits? Because they're bearing all the pain.
I mean, I think they've talked about some short-term stimulus money specifically for farmers, but I think that'll all have to be part of a larger negotiation package. Where other people get things that they want.
I'll give you how I think Kehoe will open up Christmas presents and ring in the new year with an A+ for his first year. I think he's on course. I think that calling another special session would be really not good, but I think Mike Kehoe is on course to having an A+, one of the most productive, one of the greatest first years of any governor in Missouri history. I think he's right on par with your Warren Hearns, your Kit Bond, your early administration successes. I think Kit Bond is right up there with Governor Dunkel and other governors that were incredibly successful. I think what could degrade that, I mean, it's easy in the moment to give a grade. It's probably maybe, because you got to see how this plays out. I could tell you how that A+ goes down to an A-, B+. The Chiefs leave. Then that first special session is worthless. Mm-hmm. I don't think that property tax thing is going to affect anything in any substantial way. I think it's all going to get torn up in 27 anyway. But if the Chiefs were to leave, the Royals leaving, let's be honest, you've got 25 players' moms, and then you've got...
Sorry, folks.
What? You've got 200 to 300 fans that don't even show up at the same game intermediately throughout the year, right?
Well, they are confused. They don't know where to show up anymore.
Hey, Aaron, how many Royals games did Jake go to this year? I'll give you the over-under of 1.
He went to a few.
Yeah, look at his face. That's the face of a man that went to 0. How many Royals games did you go to this year?
We've been through this. It's difficult for me to go to sporting events.
You seem to get to Chiefs games, though. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic that somehow, throughout your busy schedule of being a very successful government consultant, bullshitting on this show, raising children,
professional bullshitter,
being a wife to your wonderful husband, you still seem to get to Chiefs games.
Man.
How many Royals games did you get to this year, my man?
Somebody pays for the Chiefs games, though. Nobody pays for me to go to the Royals games.
Do they charge money to go to that? I mean, if you show up with $5, they'll give you a ticket and folding money back.
We know that you have to make social events easy for Aaron, so somebody makes it easy for me to get to Chiefs
How much
games.
easy could it be to show up to a 30,000-seat stadium with 200 people in it and just find you a spot? Or you could have a whole section. You could bring the entire town of Wardsville, and they could all sit 3 seats apart comfortably.
That's a great idea.
I'm not going to that. It's like 2 hours. I wouldn't go watch the Royals if they were playing over in the governor's office building. Kelton, can you help me with math? I'm not good at math. I want to take my boots off. You got some math here?
Elias is building a new baseball stadium. They could play
hit
there.
me with it.
Kelton, how many Royals games did you go to this year?
0.
I went to the exact same. Croson went to 0. He
3.
did not. He's
He went to
lying.
3.
He didn't have a picture. Aaron, how many Royals games did you go to this year?
I went to 0.
So no one in this entire room or this entire block probably has went to a Royals game this year. Yeah, got to get that new stadium built though. I mean, that's gonna, man.
You were saying, you were back to the point.
Okay, I think if the Royals leave, no one cares. You don't care.
leave.
You will go to the exact number of games in the new stadium in Kansas or Utah or China or wherever that you go to now. The Royals could literally play on the moon, and Aaron Shrimp would go to as many games as her favorite team as she does now. Is that correct?
I mean, I feel
you
like,
might go to the
No,
moon.
wait, hold on. You have to put this into perspective. The amount of baseball games I've been to in the last 6 years is zero. Like any baseball game.
Oh,
So
I was
it's not
gonna.
like-
You kind of made that
it's
too
not-
easy for me. I thought
it's
if I,
not like-
I was gonna go year by year, and I thought you'd lie.
going.
Now you over a decade, half a decade, you haven't been to a Royals game, but definitely a new stadium though.
Well, that's not for me to decide. That's for Kansas City and Jackson County residents to decide.
Okay, so if the Royals leave, no one will care. Neither Jake or Aaron. Let's be real. If the Chiefs leave, that's a big deal. Like that. That's something that Keogh doesn't want. That's a legit thing.
If Crime, we were going back to the list of things that
Yeah.
would bring his score down. If the Chiefs leave, if crime in St. Louis doesn't get better,
If the abortion IP fails,
I don't think that matters. If nobody's gonna blame him on that one,
I think that's something he
If-
actually cares about.
I didn't say he didn't care about it. I just said no one's gonna blame.
I think
him.
this
It's not
map
gonna be
goes
his-
away.
It's not gonna be his fault.
This IP reform, joke of an IP reform blows up.
If the economy blows up, if we have a recession, then he doesn't have a budget. There's
I'll be honest with
there's
you.
a litany of things.
I don't know that an economy blowing up is something Missouri can do much about in and of itself. I think we're too
He
interconnected.
can't do anything. It's not.
But people will
his
perceive him doing
fault.
bad.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
your point. I think going back, if the Chiefs leave, that takes away the A+. If crime in St. Louis doesn't get settled, there's not some benefit to the state takeover. I think that'll tarnish that A+. I think if the abortion IP goes down, I think he's got the first lady being the treasurer of it. I think that will take away from it. And then I think the 7-1 thing is just a goofy distraction. The IP reform thing, Mike Kehoe's too good and knows the people of this state too well to think that can really pass. I think that was just a distraction thrown onto this map thing because the property tax thing worked with the stadium thing. So yeah, that would take away. But I don't think that loses an A+. I don't think anybody thinks those things are going to happen.
The only thing.
If people thought the 7-1 map was going to work, people would be campaigning for that seat in Jefferson City right now in Cole County. You know how many people have campaigned and even announced campaigns for the new 5th? None that I know of. I mean, somebody may have. Has you'll know that people actually think this will pass if Curtis Gregory runs. On the 13th of December, right? They have to have their signatures in.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Gregory's the person everyone thinks he would be the best.
Congressman Cleaver's running. He said he's running.
Okay.
Regardless of what the
And I get
list
that,
looks like.
and I have a high regard for Congressman Cleaver. But you'll know that people think this is going to actually be the map when Curtis Gregory announces.
That's probably a signal.
That means people think this is actually going to happen. If not, you're going to have a lower tiered candidate run. And I'm sure, why wouldn't somebody run on the off chance that this all goes the way it could go? But I do think until I see Curtis Gregory send out an announcement, he's making so there's going to be some cornfield in Marshall that's getting reserved in a barn for an announcement. I'm going to say the 7-1 thing is a bit of a pipe dream.
Are you going to be calling around to barns for the next few months, see if anybody's made reservations?
No, I'm going to call that group that hates
Stay
him
on.
because they'll pay closer attention than I will. While we're here, got to thank my buddy Larry Sifford, the man who taught Mike Kehoe how to sell cars. I have been in the Society of the Ozarkian Hillcrofters, the historical society in Southwest Missouri. I am very grateful for this. This is something that I will be framing and hanging up. Check this out, Aaron. They probably now that if you act impressed by it, they're probably going to make you an honorary member without having to go down there.
Please, I'll come. I will come.
She won't. Come.
Yes, I will.
No, she won't.
That's baloney. I was just down there this last week.
Where at?
In the Southwest?
Where at?
In Branson.
I don't think the Hillcrofters. I mean, Branson there is some nice things that Branson brings for sure, but we're talking about actually Ozark history.
Oh man, you're gonna make some
deep
folks
dive.
mad. This does not take you long. He's been gone 1 week and he's back and he's already making.
All the Irish charm is
incendiary things.
We finally have someone to level out the Irish charm here. A little German practicalism.
He's guns a-blazing, trying to blow stuff up.
Thank you guys so much. I am honored to be a member, and I can't wait to be more involved. This is something I really do appreciate and treasure. It's a great group, kind of keeping the culture and the history of the Ozarks alive. A great group, and I appreciate Larry being a member of 374 of the association. You know who else is a member? Mr. A Plus himself, Mike Kehoe.
Is a member?
Absolutely
wow.
is. I think
they should put that on their marketing.
They should. He has a better membership number than I do, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
They might have made a special like 58 or something. Well, 58 maybe.
Yeah, that.
You know, whoever has 58 probably said, okay, I'll go back. I'll be 375. He can be 58.
The only thing that like is like factually accurate on here is that dedicated to the preservation of, and you can take out pretty much everything except for that as it relates to Scott with folklore.
Folklore. I like it with folklore.
That's pretty much everything.
I like lore, and I'll take it folksy.
Oh, perpetuation of Ozarks culture. That's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What other culture would you possibly want to preserve?
Education. I'm not sure about that one. Yeah.
Well, I don't do. Larry does the education. I'm not.
But folklore and culture right here. Yeah, this is your guy.
Folklore and culture. I'll take that. Kelton, what's Shelby, Missouri's posting this week?
We're going to the south to Howell County.
Ah, 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. Porter Wagner himself. We had a great time in Howell County. It's a fun place. The college's doing great. You know, it's interesting. It's a junior college on some things, but it's really a subsidiary of Missouri State. It doesn't have its own taxing base or anything. It is its own subsidiary of Missouri State University, who, by the way, I was down there, the first nationally televised game Wednesday night.
Jake and I talked about it.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big win. We won.
Big win.
28-20. But I'll tell you, the win was awesome. If you haven't been to that stadium this season, you haven't been to that stadium. They have really put the time in. The lighting is great. The luxury box area is really upgraded. But more than any of that, it was cold. It was freezing cold. It was raining.
Yeah.
They have a mini grove almost right there as you walk kind of between the common area. They have all these tents put up. And then maybe they put up more tents because it was a cold, rainy afternoon. But in a cold, rainy afternoon, that grove area was filled. It really reminded me of a mini Ole Miss. Now, don't go down there thinking you're going to see the Grove and Ole Miss. That's not real. But you are seeing the absolute, what it feels like is the beginning of a football culture.
Yeah.
And
culture.
5-3. If you'd have told me in the first season in D1 football they were going to be 1-7, I'd been like, yeah, it's going to take a while. 5-3 in their first year in D1 football.
Might get a bowl. Yeah.
I mean, I've been told they don't get one of the Conference USA bowl bids, but if you're a bowl committee, why would you not want to be the host of the first bowl? I think that's something, depending on, I don't like those December 22, 23, 24, 25 bowls. I don't like that. It's 2 goals of Christmas. What if you can't get back, right? But anything after the 27th and after, I'm in. I like
Missouri
that.
folks will travel, too. They got to keep that in mind.
Nashville was taken over by the Tigers.
Yeah.
There was more black and gold last year on
their bowl. Who they play?
Played Iowa. Beat them.
Yeah, that's right.
Whooped them. Drinkwitz doesn't. He's a big game coach. Kelton, got to keep Drinkwitz.
I sure hope so.
Me too. Florida sucks. Ugh. I don't think LSU is going to be hunting him. I think Florida's hunting him. Don't you?
I don't think LSU can afford him right now.
Penn State. I think LSU will afford him because that's kind of what they do down there. The problem for the SEC, let's be honest, is now that everybody can pay the students, you know, you're having to see hustle. A guy like Drinkwitz is succeeding. Where LSU paid students before to play football, they just was illegal. Now they just can cut them a check, you know.
Problem with LSU is he's going to become a bureaucrat. If he goes and takes that job, he's basically
I hated to see Ed Ogeron leave because he was like he talked like a Cajun, you know. He talked like he was in Waterboy. You know what I mean? I like that Ed Ogeron guy. He sounded like he was from LSU.
Track record there isn't great right now. I'm not sure if I would want to leave Columbia, Missouri for.
The governor stepped in and fired the coach.
That's what I'm saying. You become a bureaucrat.
Doesn't Kehoe need to step in and take over the Cardinals?
I'm not getting into the politics there.
It's just. I mean, what more? Look, all these other things
He's got a lot of headaches. I really don't need.
But maps and crime and all that, they're fine. Whatever. Who cares? What would matter is if he could take over the Cardinals and make the Cardinals great again.
If you asked him, he probably would.
Governor Kehoe, just simple Scott Faughn here, simple hillbilly constituent. Would you please, look, I don't really actually care about Medicaid. If it went away tomorrow, I'm fine. and I don't care about you taking out Cleaver. That's, Godspeed. But please, take over the Cardinals. Please. Please, just
all Scott
take
wants
over the
for
Cardinals.
Christmas is
That's Christmas, Arbor Day, the 4th of
new
July.
management
You could even
of the
cancel all the
Cardinals.
holidays in the state. That's fine with me. Just take over the Cardinals. It's in desperate need. It is in desperate need. And there is nothing this state needs more than the Cardinals.
And I don't really care all that much, but I would love for you to do it just so I don't have to listen to it anymore.
So there's 2 of your constituents asking you. I'm sure you're having a very important meeting about something very important. I probably don't care at all about. Just take over the Cardinals. Just take over the Cardinals for the benefit of everyone. Ask Jesus what he would want you to do with your day to day. And I believe with every fiber of my soul, he would say, my son, take over the Cardinals. Bring them back to glory. Right?
Is that possible?
I don't know. Hell, I don't know.
I mean, your
on that depressing note,
your NL team. What wasn't your NL team from another country? Isn't the Blue Jays the NL team, or were they the AL team?
big Royals fan here.
Yeah.
Aaron Shrimp doesn't know that the Dodgers were the National League team.
Were the Dodgers the National League team?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And the Blue
I got
Jays,
that wrong.
National League doesn't have Canada teams. We got rid of ours, turned them into the Washington Nationals. We actually took their National League team and put them in our nation's capital. Sunday, this week, Howell County in Show, Missouri. This week we're doing the college tour, Southeast Missouri State University. The alma mater. Well, it's not really the alma mater. To be the alma mater, you have to graduate, right?
Yes.
The place Rush Limbaugh attended for a year, and they actually gave me a degree on the promise I'd never come back. They're giving me a one-day disposition this week to go back and shoot Show Missouri, or shoot This Week in Missouri Politics. We got a new president down there. It's gonna be fun. We have a good time. Also, want to thank our sponsors, the United Fiber up in the Great Northwest, Mocan Trade Association, grown, tested, manufactured, and sold here in the state of Missouri. Ain't nothing more Missouri than the products from the Mocan Trade Association. And then the Courtyard by Marriott. Stay when you come to town. The only place to stay is the Courtyard by Marriott. Thank you to the Hillcrofters. I guess you should thank Northwest.
You know what I realized too? It's a beautiful green color, an emerald color of my people. Thank you.
As the Irish would say, Jesus. And thank you to Jim Murphy. I love the Stein. Very grateful, sir. It means a lot to me. We will see you Wednesday on Show Missouri from Howell County, Porter Wagner's home county, Preacher Row, famous pitcher, Hall of Fame pitcher. I have a terrific autographed Preacher Row ball that Carl Essinger gave me, sitting back in the bar. Howell County is so fun. You're going to love it. My nice hillbilly friends out on the state line. Hillcrofters, Larry, I'm very honored. Thank you so much for letting me be a member and sending me this certificate. Drugs, Catherine Hanaway is going to take out the drugs, I think, right? Right?
TBD.
Bailey was taking the drugs out.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he
was
was
taking the drugs out.
He reminded me like a Super Troopers where they had all those monkeys.
He was about to go all bad cop on them. He wasn't messing around anymore.
Don't play with Catherine either, though.
He was not playing good cop.
No, Catherine.
He was going bad cop on them.
My gut tells me, honestly, Catherine may go more.
We'll see. TBD.
She may go straight up John Wayne on him. TBD, yeah, you're right, but I kind of feel like the gas station drugs are going to be a little rough, but we'll see. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Aaron, thank you. Thank you for taking over. I've had so many good comments. It's almost insulting about you and Jake and Scott Charton. He's a great guest. Man, Scott Charton's a good dude.
He's the best. Yeah.
I love the way he
Also,
talks. He's so descriptive.
Have a lead on these pens from the Secretary of State's office. That we're trying to.
You know who you should call about that is Rachel.
Well,
Rachel Dunn. She
might be able to
Rachel
find
can
them.
Find stuff nobody else in the world can find.
She's probably been hiding them.
She's probably got one in her desk.
Yeah,
She's just been hanging on to it. You should call Rachel. She's always good at that kind of stuff. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you. We don't do one of these Thursday? What are you doing Thursday?
I don't know. That's 3 days.
All right, we might be back Thursday. If not, we will see you from Howell County for Show Missouri. We will see you Sunday from Southeast Missouri State University on This Week in Missouri Politics.